The Society Against Sexual Orientation Discrimination (SASA) is reporting that the four-country survey done in May and June of 2020 found that Guyanese lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender LGBTQ persons suffered a high percentage of job losses. Managing Director of SASA, Joel Simpson, explained that while there are no national statistics for the socioeconomic impact of COVID-19 in Guyana, the study, which was also done in Barbados, Grenada and St. Lucia, found that 70% of Guyanese LGBTQ persons lost their jobs or had significantly reduced working hours. He admitted that the figure is high, but noted that it is not surprising and quite logical that this may also be higher than the national average. Simpson said LGBTQ persons work largely in informal sectors.
What we found in May, June when we did the survey, and this would have been just a couple of 3 or 4 months after the pandemic was declared in Guyana around mid-March, if I recall correctly. What we found is a couple of very important things. 70% of LGBTQ people had either lost their jobs or had significantly reduced working hours due to COVID-19. Now, 70% sounds high, and while there are no national statistics in relation to COVID-19 and its socioeconomic effects in the country, I'm willing to bet that it's higher than the national average. And it's completely logical for me that LGBTQ people would be more affected because LGBTQ people tend to work in informal sectors.
Simpson was keen to point out that the survey was done roughly 4 months after the first COVID-19 death and case was recorded in Guyana. The SASA director said the livelihoods of LGBTQ persons were severely affected and many persons face stress and mental health issues due to the pandemic. Simpson said the increase in mental distress was brought on by loss of jobs, livelihood, and the restriction to stay at home and confront homophobia.
That put LGBTQ people, especially LGBTQ youth, in a position where they had to engage and deal with homophobic family members that they could have avoided outside of the pandemic, because they could come home late at night when everybody's sleeping. They could wake up either early and go to work or wake up late after everybody goes to work, and they could avoid these homophobic family members as far as possible. But now everybody has to stay at home. There's stay-at-home orders. Well, there was a 2-week stay-at-home order. There were curfew measures, which were very early. I can remember, I think we had one at one point like 6 p.m. and all of that and so on. So people were now in a position where they couldn't avoid their homophobic parents, guardians, and siblings.
Simpson said another issue was the increase in family violence. This manifested in several ways, including physical, psychological, emotional, and economic. Simpson said this study was quantitative, where persons only responded to a questionnaire, but noted that a more qualitative study will be done on these matters, including how men who have sex with men, MSM, and transgender persons who are HIV positive were affected by the pandemic in accessing healthcare. Kurt Campbell, Newsroom.